Today I choose to follow you.
Good morning. It's Friday, the 10th of September. We're through another week and we're into the weekend. I trust that you had a wonderful week with the Lord and that you're looking forward to Sunday, where you get opportunity to gather together as the people of God. And wherever you choose and decide to attend a service, remember, it's not about receiving, it's about giving. Ask the Lord before you go to church this Sunday, what is it that He wants you to take with, that He wants you to share? Go there with disciple-looking eyes, not to be discipled, but to be a disciple. Look out for the one who's standing on his own. Look out for the one who needs a word of affirmation or confirmation or encouragement, and ask the Lord to give it to you. And as you speak to people, as you interact with people in the house of God, before or after the service, listen with a disciple's ear, where you can hear what the people's need is. And maybe the Lord wants to use you to bring a smile or a word of encouragement. But hey, it's coffee with God. Trust you've got a decent cup of coffee. And if you got your Bibles, Matthew 16, verse 21. Matthäus 16, vanaf vers 21. It's Friday morning, so I've already had coffee with the guys, and we've had a great conversation this morning. And so that's not my first cup, but it's still a good cup of coffee. Matthew 16:21. Listen to these incredible words of Jesus. From that time, Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things from the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed and be raised up on the third day. That's verse 21 of Matthew 16. So Jesus reaches a point with these men who he shared his life with for 3 years, and they've done life together. They've grown intimate. They've grown together. They've grown to love each other, to depend on each other, to believe in one another. And now he says to them, he starts showing them, listen, guys, I have to go to Jerusalem, but it's not going to be like the other times that we've been up to Jerusalem, where I clear the temple and I kick over tables. And this time I'm going to be arrested. I'm going to be beaten. I'm going to be spat on. I'm going to be whipped. I'm going to be punched through the face. I'm going to have my beard plucked out of my face. I'm going to have a crown of thorns put on me. I'm going to have to carry a cross to a hill, and I'm going to be killed on that hill. I'm going to be raised on the third day, but I have to go through all these things. And he starts talking negatively. He starts painting a picture that is unbearable. That's just not acceptable. And imagine if we were involved with a group of people, or a friend, or a family member, a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, just a work colleague, and the person said, you know, this weekend I'm facing all these incredible things, or this is what's happening in my life. This has happened, this has happened, this has happened, and it's just one tragedy upon another, and you're sitting there and you're thinking, man, no, this is wrong. One person shouldn't be going through all this. Are you crazy? This is unfair. God's not. Where's God in all this? Why is God allowing this to happen to you? Good response. Because listen to verse 22. Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him, saying, God forbid it, Lord. This shall never happen to you. And I mean, that's just so natural. I can so align myself. I can so feel what Peter's feeling. Hey, you're my friend. No, this must never happen. No way. Stop speaking this over yourself. Stop saying ek's 'n ongeluksvoël. Ek's niks wat ek doen kom ooit uit reg nie. Niks. Ek is altyd verkeerd. Ek kan niks reg doen nie. My lewe is 'n gemors. And when people start saying things like that, then we wanna climb you and say, no, stop saying that. And Peter takes him aside and he rebukes him. In other words, he speaks to him harshly. He says to him, no, may it never be, Lord. This is not going to happen to you. But Jesus turned and said to Peter, get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me, For you are not setting your mind on God's interests, but man's. Yo, just get behind me, Satan. Jesus says to a friend who's trying to say, no, man, it's not going to be so hard. No, it's not going to be so bad. No, just put yourself in Jesus' shoes. Jesus knew he had to go through what he was going to go through because he trusted God's plan for his life. Imagine saying to your friends and family, come, we're going to my death. We're going up to Jerusalem. They're going to arrest me, trumped up charges. They're going to beat me to a pulp. They're going to kill me. But be of good cheer. This is God's will for my life. I don't know if I have that kind of faith, but I pray that God would enable me and strengthen me and equip me and give me that kind of faith. To go into today with the belief and the trust in my God who loves me, who cares for me, who gave me life, who's forming, who's shaping me. That whatever comes across my path today, it's part of his plan, it's part of what he is going to use to bring about his will on earth. Then we pray, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And in praying that, we say, thy will be done through me on earth as it is in heaven. That which you ordain, that which you plan, that which you purpose, I submit and I entrust because I believe in you who've given me this life, who've made me to be this person, that I will be able to handle what you put across me and that it's going to work out for the good because you're a loving Father who knows exactly what I need and you'll give it to me at the right time. And I trust you in the valleys as well as on top of the mountains. Get behind me, Satan. You're a stumbling block to me, for you are not setting your mind on God's interests but mine. Lord, help me not to face today out of my perspective, but to have your perspective on today. And the fact that I'm still living, the fact that I'm still breathing, means that you're still working on me, in me, and through me. And other people might judge me, other people might call me a failure, other people might not see all the good qualities that I have. And even when I look at myself, I might not see all the good qualities that I have. But Lord, you see something in me that you feel is worth keeping alive because there's something in me that you can use to impact other lives for the good. And I trust you. And anyone who doesn't see it, anyone who wants to sympathize with me, and anyone who wants to say to me, stop going through the trial, stop going through, just rebuke it, just climb out of it, just don't accept it, is maybe not thinking as God thinks, but is thinking as man thinks. So be careful. Be careful how you sympathize with people who are going through difficult times. Be there, support them, encourage them, be the person that they need you to be. But at the same time, bring the truth and the reality of God into their existence. Today may be a difficult day for some people, emotionally, physically. Might be tough things that you're going through, and it's today that you go through it. Can I encourage you that God is with you? And this too is God's plan. If you've sinned and you've brought this over yourself through wrong decisions and wrong actions that you've taken, then give it to God because He can work all things out for the good. So even if sin has placed you in a terrible situation, God can turn it for good if you'll just trust Him and give it to Him. From that time, Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things from the elders and chief priests and scribes, the people who are supposed to be the spiritual leaders, the ones who are there to see to the spiritual needs of the nation, are the ones that are going to do this to Jesus. And he accepts it because he realizes that they are just tools and pawns in God's hands. Don't judge the people who are doing bad things to you. Don't write the people off who don't understand you. See them through God's eyes in God's plan. Jesus knew that Judas was going to betray him. He didn't kick him out the circle. He loved him to the end. He even washed his feet at the Last Supper. And he, in one of the gospel accounts, says to him, go and do what you must do. When he comes, he says, do you betray the Son of Man with a kiss? But he allows him to kiss him. Yeah, when I think about these things, my heart just fills with emotion that I need to sit and process and think through. And so this Friday, going into Saturday, going into Sunday, won't you be of service to the Lord? Won't you stop feeling sorry for yourself and start rejoicing in the fact that God believes in you, God trusts you, God entrusts to you part of his plan. He can work through donkeys, he can work through elephants, he can work through hippos, he can work through, but he chooses to work through you, and he chooses to work through me. And that makes me so grateful and so thankful and so humble. And yet at the same time, I say, Lord, here am I, use me. Use me to execute your plan, to bring about your will here on earth. May your kingdom come in me, through me, to other people. I trust that you have a thoughtful and a wonderful Friday, and that this Lord's Day, this Sunday, you will get to a church. I know you can watch it on YouTube. I know you can watch it on, but we need to interact with people. So if you're doing it at home, get someone to watch it with you. Don't sit alone. Get someone with you and watch it together. And look for an opportunity to minister and to be a blessing. May the Lord be with you. And may you know the fact that he believes in you, he's chosen you, and he wants to work through you, even this day, no matter the circumstances, no matter the situation. It's maybe a tough message. If you need to speak, I'm here. Make a call. Reach out. Let's do coffee together. We've just done coffee with God. Let's do coffee together with God as well. Have a wonderful Friday.